All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the We Book It podcast. Let's start the show.
Hello and good Monday evening to you all, and welcome to another edition of Monday Night Raw Dog. I am your host, Coach, and I'm pleased to be with you once more as we have our final Monday Night Raw before the big Royal Rumble happening this weekend. Let's go over the recap, see if the go-home show delivered. We begin with the phenomenal AJ Styles making his way into the ring to address the high-stakes match he has with Gunther on Saturday, which, of course, everyone knows if he loses, he must retire. And you would normally think during a promo like this that Gunther would ease his head out and build up a little more hype with it or just keep mocking AJ. However, this time it was CM Punk who made his way to the ring, sprouting that World Heavyweight Championship. And lo and behold, CM Punk says, let's have a match tonight between him and AJ Styles, not just any match, a World Heavyweight Championship match. And it became official. That is going to be lined up for our main event. What a start. First off, the emotion in AJ's promo, we all know he's probably gonna be done on Saturday. I hate to admit it, but this is probably it. But the way he was selling how he wanted to do kind of a farewell tour or one final run with the championship like John Cena, he sold it pretty good. I just don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. I think Saturday might be the end. I hope he has a match Friday on SmackDown. We will see. But yeah, it's looking like the end of the Phenomenal One is coming close to an end. And we'll get more to that once the main event happens. We get to our first match of the evening, which is a 6-woman tag team match. The teams of the Judgment Day, Roxanne, Raquel, and Liv Morgan. And they're taking on Stephanie Vicaire and the tag team of Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. I think we've seen all of these women interact in some capacity for the last year, probably the last year. So it's no surprise how much chemistry they all have. This was pretty straightforward with the heels getting in some cheap shots, trying to distract the baby faces. Not saying that was a bad thing. It did have a really good momentum in the match. It all came to a end, though, where Rhea came in, muscled Liv Morgan, tossed her into Rodriguez with the Razor's Edge. Then Ripley got pinned but broke up. And then finally Ripley headbutted Roxanne Perez and delivered a riptide for the victory. People are going to question this on why does Liv Morgan keep losing now that she is back and healthy. I mean, she did win the number one contenders match with Roxanne, but she has been losing pretty consistently lately, which is the perfect reason why they are going to have her win the Royal Rumble on Saturday. They're throwing the scent away. They're making people doubt that she's going to win. They're going to think about somebody else. Perfect opportunity for Liv Morgan to win. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think Liv is going to win. I think it's going to lead to some friction between her and Raquel, leaving one of them leaving the Judgment Day. because of the disagreement, but we'll find out what happens. And of course, you got Finn Balor, who will be a key figure later on in the show. And, well, I'll just leave it at that until we get to it. We go to our next segment, which is the Vision coming out to the ring. And Paul Heyman beautifully, eloquently describing the attack on Braun Breaker from Adam Pearce, and also the misplacement of the brass knuckles to where Rey Mysterio could easily get them and attack Austin Theory last week. Adam Pearce did apologize. He lifted Breaker's suspension. He also said that Breaker is in the Royal Rumble, but he then said that Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, and Austin Theory are also in the Rumble. And he even said that in order to make up for last week, he gave a match for Austin Theory to face Rey Mysterio. That leads to our next match, Mysterio versus Theory. There wasn't a whole lot of one man dominating. It was a good back and forth pace. Penta and Dragon Lee were at ringside with Rey. You had the Vision on the other side. But it was, of course, everyone getting involved. The Vision start taking out Penta and Dragon Lee. And then as all that is happening, Theory hits the stomp for the win. And afterwards, a beatdown happened with the Vision. Braun Breaker spearing Dragon Lee and Penta. Bronson Reed getting some air under his tsunami to Penta, like he meant it on that one. Logan Paul with a splash. One thing to note, if you noticed during that, the referee was trying to break it up. I do think there was a reason for that, because if you notice, there's an image going around on Twitter about this, that he threw up the big X sign, which of course, as we all know, that means that a legitimate injury has happened. So that is why Rey Mysterio did not get any extra beatdown. So Rey might be hurt again, and I think it's time to have that conversation of, Rey, just hang it up, man. You're already a Hall of Famer. Just don't. Just stop. Just stop, man. You have nothing else to prove. You have already done enough for the business. You are a great mentor. You are a great fighter. Like, take care of your body. All right, man. Just take care of your body. But we'll see what happens after that match, if anything comes out. But it does look like Rey Mysterio did hurt himself. We go to our next segment, which is a backstage interview with Michael Colt and Gunther, where Gunther claimed that he backed Styles into a corner because he wanted something to gain from beating Styles again. He also claimed that he was tired of the old timers around there, and that he took away moments from Goldberg and Cena and will do the same to AJ Styles. He also says that Michael Cole should also be retiring, but that he wants him to stay just for a little bit longer so that he can make the call of AJ Styles' career being over. Not bad. Not bad, Gunther. That was much better than what we've seen in the past. Definitely built up the match a little bit more, get you some more heat that you desperately need, because not a lot of people care about what you're doing. So if this is the way to do it, by all means do it, man, so that you get something. I will be curious to see what his reaction is, what the reaction of the fans will be like Saturday during the Royal Rumble. A lot of the wrestling pundits are going to say how fantastic it was that he's doing this, but I think the true fans are not too happy with it. I mean, I think they understand, but the execution has not been great. And maybe, just maybe, this gets him on the right track. We all know that he will be probably facing Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam to retire him. So it's curious to see, but from a fan perspective, this career ender run has not been the best for Gunther because it has been very bland. So let's see if this spices it up. I'm not holding my breath. All right, we get to our next match. Number one contenders match for the World Tag Team Championship. We have Alpha Academy versus the Creed Brothers versus the New Day versus Los Americanos. I enjoyed the heck out of this match. I thought there were some really clever spots, a lot of everyone got the chance to shine, which you always got to appreciate in these big matches where there's more than four people, more than two, more than three people going on. It was nice to see the Creed brothers back in the ring. We haven't seen them in a very long time. They've been working the main event scene, the show main event, not the actual main event scene. And of course, the New Day being the New Day, getting all the heat that they need. Grayson Waller doing a great job as well. But the crowd was solely behind Tozawa and Otis. And this is the first time since, we're going to date ourselves here, since 205 Live, when Tozawa was on that, where he is being taken seriously as a competitor. And it was great. Tozawa showed off the offense. Otis came in, used his body as a wrecking ball as best that he does. And believe it or not, Alpha Academy is your new number one contender for the World Tag Team Championship. They will face the Usos at a future date. Like I said, this was great way to get guys who have not been on TV for a long time, getting them some action to prove their worth. And I would love to see all four of these teams continue to go. The Americanos, they'll probably get more in AAA, which that's fine. But the New Day and the Creed brothers, that'll be very nice to see them more often. Still no Jimmy Uso with Jay, so we're hoping that everything with Naomi is okay with the baby. So just hope Jimmy and Naomi are doing okay there, because Jay has showed up the last 3 weeks without Jimmy, his tag team partner, after they won the championship. So hopefully everything is okay there. We now get to our main event that was brought in at the beginning of Monday Night Raw. It is, in fact, CM Punk versus AJ Styles, with the crowd chanting both their names. Once AJ Styles, then CM Punk, going back and forth. This is awesome chants flying throughout the air of the arena. Both men brought out the best in each other, and actually some offense that we hadn't seen from either of them in a long time. We had a nice little move where Styles was going for the Styles Clash. Punk countered into a roll-up. Styles kicked out. And then Punk went straight into the Anaconda Vice, to which Styles then rolled into a calf crusher, which was great. And then it all kind of got out of hand when Punk and Styles went out of the ring. Punk hit the GTS. 10 count was almost hit. Styles gets back in. Then as Styles was just laying there, Punk went over to, looked like hit another GTS. Styles then hit the Styles Clash, which was a heart-stopping near fall, because it gave you the hope of, oh man, they're actually going to give AJ the title here, and maybe Saturday won't be his last match. But Punk did kick out. And then as he was going for the phenomenal forearm, Punk knocked him off the ropes. They were kind of caught in between at that point. And then late in the match, Finn Balor entered the ring and attacked the champion. He delivered a shotgun dropkick and then hit 3 coup de grace as the show went off air. My thoughts on that main event. It was great to see Punk and Styles, and they were in a great match before the finish. And as much as we all want them to run it back, I do not think there will be enough time, unfortunately. But the purpose of this match not only was for fans to see Punk and Styles, but this was to get the push of Finn Balor rolling. Last week he had a championship match. This week you could see that remnants of a possible face turn talking with CM Punk before his championship match tonight. Him and Liv Morgan kind of being at odds ends with each other. But the accumulation of that point was Balor being told that the Royal Rumble is full and that he cannot enter, according to Adam Pearce. And after a great match that they have, I could see possibly a WrestleMania match between these two. Maybe, I don't know, depending on who wins the Rumble. But the push for Finn Balor is on. He was supposed to have a big year last year. Something obviously changed in the creative department, but I think this is the year we finally get some Finn Balor love, and he deserves it. He has been a hard worker. He has done everything that has been asked, and he has time and time again shown how he is one of the best wrestlers in the world. I'm excited for this. I hope he gets his singles run. I hope he brings back the demon gimmick again. I think that might happen one more time. I don't think he's going to do it any often, but definitely keep that old theme that he brought back last week. But overall, a pretty solid Monday Night Raw. There was a couple of low points, but nothing too crazy about everything. It definitely gets you set up for what might happen after the Royal Rumble, because right now we are at a point to where we have no idea who's going to win the Rumble. And it was very similar to this last year, but I think the caveat was Cena being there and everyone thinking, okay, Cena's going to win the Rumble. But you could really go multiple ways with any storyline right now, and it will be intriguing. This is a great problem for the creative team to have. But if we've seen anything from the Unreal documentary, don't leave it to creative not to mess this up. But other than that, I think a very solid show. I'll give it a B+ for Monday Night Raw, and looking forward to the Royal Rumble on Saturday, because that's when the big one happens. The Men's Royal Rumble. Could it be Roman Reigns? Could it be Oba Femi? Could Cody Rhodes win? Could Jacob Fatu win? Is Finn Balor going to get in? I mean, who's the surprise guest? Who's going to be the surprise return at the Royal Rumble that this beautiful event is known for? But we will have to wait and see for that. Thank you all once again for tuning in to another edition of Monday Night Raw Dog. Special shout out to Virgil for being my producer tonight. I appreciate you so much, Virgil. Thank you to all of you that listen and or watch wherever you watch us on or listen. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to all of our content here at the We Book It podcast, and we will see you next Monday for another edition of Monday Night Raw Dog.